Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to York Chats. I am Austin the Stache. Joining me today, the one and only Deb Robertson. Deb, how are you doing today?
Doing all right.
Good. From Kilgore Memorial Library and, of course, the public library here in York. Very active. There's lots going on. So let's dive into what is going on at the library. Let's start off with some things that maybe people don't necessarily know are available at the library. So what are some things that you can physically go to with the library, and then what are some things that that maybe we don't know just by walking in the building?
Sure. Yes, it's amazing. You know, we do it all the time, so we know we have these services, and yet every once in a while someone will say, I didn't know you had meeting rooms for people to use at the library, and we do. It's one big space that has a wall that can open or close, and we can accommodate, groups from 3 to, we have 72 chairs, but then, it's just a theater style by that time to squeeze everyone in. But, we serve a lot of nonprofits and a lot of state groups that are coming together from across the state for a committee meeting or whatever. It's just a nice accommodation that we offer, and are always thrilled to serve people and help them out with their needs for meeting space. So
that's something that kind of gets forgotten about, especially when people are putting committees together for absolutely anything, and all of a sudden it's like, all right, where are we going to meet? And it's like, well, we don't really want to meet at a restaurant. That's not going to work.
Right.
And there are a couple different places, but public library, perfect spot for it.
We try. Yep.
And you guys set up. That was the thing, because we host not a debate.
Oh, yes, the public forum for the candidates.
Yes, we host that through you guys,
Yep.
and y'all do a fantastic job getting it all set up for us.
Yep. It's a task, but we take it on, and it's what we do for the public. So yeah,
for sure.
Yes.
So there's meeting rooms and all that sort of stuff, but then there's also I'm taking a look at this list, and I'm like, whoa, there's that too. So Early Childhood Discovery Center, that's been early childhood and elementary education has been a big topic, especially with the whole bond issue going on.
Yes.
And so how are families able to supplement at the public library?
Well, the Early Education Discovery Center, Early Childhood Discovery Center, and the Music Garden that's outside are collaborations between the library and the public school Sixpence program. And so they know that their families need to have time to socialize with their children and have learning tools that they may not have at home. And so they put it at the public library so that anyone in the community that needs a space for an hour or two or an afternoon to spend with their children and explore, some tools that are bigger that we have. We have the most popular, of course, is the Flight Lab, which I call a wind tunnel, because it's literally a tube with a fan at the bottom, and the children can put scarves or leaves or feathers or whatever we have, and they'll blow out and come out. And that's when the library is not a quiet facility. It's when the squeals ensue, when those things come fluttering down. But it's a way that parents can talk about the physics of what will float and what won't float through this fan. Or else we have a Lego table with a supply of Duplo and Legos that children can explore and create. And you can talk about color and shape and count the bumps, and doing math at the same time as having fun. So that's what we're there to provide for the public, is a place where you can come together and, two moms might have a mom's afternoon out, but have the kids with them, and then they can play. There's a place where you can sit on softer seating that's a little lower, but yet it's a place to share and read books, or just, have some snuggle time too. So we're there to serve with whatever needs the public have. So
very nice.
That's a fun one.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then what is microfilm of your what is this? What?
Yeah, microfilm is very old.
Okay.
But we still do it because it's a way to preserve the history of the York News Times, which is the history basically of our community. And microfilm is strips of mylar or some type of microfilm material, that then we have a machine that can read it. And then you can look back into we go back into the 1890s all the way up to present day.
Whoa.
With this. Yes, there are some libraries, some communities who've been able to digitize this, so it's in an electronic format and you can search it. But the publisher of the paper has the copyright owner, and we have to follow what they wish. And the publisher of the York News Times wishes that we do not have it digitized, and so
Really?
we have to follow that. Yes, I've worked with editors over the years of our local paper, and they've tried to work with the legal department, and the answer continues to be not at this time. And so we continue to microfilm it because they do allow us. That is something we can do with our copy of the paper. So,
but that's still really interesting that you can go back as far as the 1890s to take a look at what's all going on. And I mean, I would imagine you would be able to, with some of today's internet, I'm sure you can cross-reference stuff, and you can figure out.
Right.
You aren't just reading newspapers from 100 years.
No, but it is interesting to look at the ads and things like that, and the writing styles. Just these different things are very interesting about how the news was presented in 1902 or whatever year. And we have had research projects that we've worked on for different organizations or whatever. So a larger project, we might have a staff member that does it on off hours time, and then it's just a little donation that they get for their time. But things like that are fun to do, and it's just nice though when a family is looking for that lost obituary or a birth announcement or something. They have to be able to give us pretty specific time frame to search through, but we have some staff that enjoy doing that. And the public is welcome to come in and do their own research too. We'll set them up and teach them. It's not hard to use, so it is still a service that we have as a way of finding the history of the news that we have from our community. So
that's really cool.
Yeah,
that's really, really cool.
And then to flip to a more modern thing is we still to this day still have people coming in wanting to fax a document. And we do not have a fax machine at the library. It broke shortly after I came to town, and I just said, "Guess what? I know of a tool. It's a scanner, but it comes with software that makes it possible. You scan it and you can either save it on a flash drive, or you can directly email it out." And so we have a lot of people that use that service. We have a lot of organizations in town that know we have that service and send, the courthouse will send people over. Healthcare providers will send people that, they just need to get documents and they need to have it in a digital format. So they can email it to themselves or directly to whoever needs the document. And there's no charge for that one because it doesn't consume anything, paper or toner or anything like that. So
nice.
That's a service that we provide that is growing in popularity. And once you find out about, we even have those folks that travel for their job and then they have to do a daily report of whatever. They come in and they scan it and send it off to their department at whatever office they need to get it to. So it's just a wonderful service.
It's really interesting how much the public library has, and a lot of it is free. And it's a lot of stuff that is really important that a lot of people kind of take for granted from time to time, depending on your career or whatever is going on.
Right.
And so I would recommend people, the people that I would recommend the most to is talk to your teenagers about all of the things that the public library has to offer, because there are that's where a lot of great ideas begin is when you're a teenager. And where is a good place to go and get these ideas flushed out is at the public library. So
and then another newish service that we have, it's not new in the world, but we took our time to get there, but you can print directly from your personal device through a wireless app that we have now. So we have a link to it from our website, where if you're at home and your printer dies and you need to have this printed now, and just magically happens to be when the library is open, you can use that service. And then by the time you get to the library, you stop at the desk, we release it from our side of the desk and it prints. You can do it while you're in the library also from your phone or whatever device you have with you. But again, It's just something where you don't have to stop, go to a computer, log in, and
Right.
get to the document that way. You can do it directly from a mobile device.
For sure.
And so that's another service that's growing in popularity as people find it. So we're
Very
glad
nice.
to be able to help with that too.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so we talked last time about the online library app and about
Yep.
what all was included with that, especially the audiobooks that are available through like Libby and that sort of thing. But let's talk a little bit about some of the other popular services that are growing.
Yep.
Whether that's the children's programming you guys have, or story time for 0 to 5. Like, what's all going on at the library?
Well, with story time, we've expanded. We have 3 sessions a week now for the 0 to 5-year-old group. We have daycares or child care centers that are walkable from the library. And so when they have enough staff and the weather is right, they will walk over and take part in our programming, which is great. And then it grew so much that it was almost unmanageable for the one person that we had. So now we have added some seasonal help to help specifically with those programs. But we've also, the third program that we've expanded to offer is specifically for the child care centers to come at a time that's set aside so that, then those that come that are the general public can enjoy their time in the space and everything. So we're it's just a way that we found to kind of divide the groups so that we could have manageable numbers of students at one time. So, but that's fun. And then on Wednesdays we do Little Picasso's Time, which is basically a craft time, and it has some sort of a theme to go with the season or the holiday that's coming up or whatever. So, but we just have wonderful families that are using that service right now, and we're enjoying every minute of it. Unfortunately, our incubator hatched 7 chickens last week, and they have gone to the farm, so they're not at the library anymore. And so, but they were. It's the second time we've done chicken eggs, and we've done ducks. And we even had a calf that wasn't born at the library, but it came to the library shortly after it was born. And so, it's a partnership we have with the 4-H Extension Office right now, and it's working well. It's a good way for them to get their news and their services expanded into the public also. So it's wonderful to work together. So there's that going on for the 0 to 5-year-olds. I do have a new group that has formed at the library. We've rearranged our staff so that everyone has front desk time to work with the public, and then they have time to work in the back to prepare for programs or events that they want to be a part of. And so with that, we've found a niche where we can have after-school programming now. The library is a bus stop, so students are dropped off after school. And on Wednesdays, they have a little more time because they get out earlier. And so we're going to have an offering where every Wednesday it'll be something different based on who is planning that week, because there's 4 of us that are going to rotate through also. And so starting early in November, the children after school will have an opportunity to make or play with some toys or electronics that we don't have out all the time. So we'll be having that every Wednesday after school.
Very nice.
So, and then hopefully we'll find what works best, and then maybe it'll grow so that we'll have the specialty sessions for whatever the most popular is at different times for them that really enjoy that. So
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And are there anything you mentioned? Seasonal activities. Are there anything seasonal going on right now for October,
Right.
fall, that
Right.
sort of stuff?
Well, Mrs. B has planned a story time it'll have some trick-or-treating at the end. Just within the library there will be stations where we'll be scattered around with treats, but it's Elephant and Piggy are 2 popular characters.
Oh, I know
And so-
Elephant and Piggy very
so
well.
That's going to be the theme, and it is, I don't have the calendar in front of me, it's the Friday before. Oh, there's an October calendar. It must be the 25th.
The Friday before, so yes, the 25th.
Yes, so the 25th of October, we will have our Elephant and Piggy party, and then the children are invited to come in their costumes, and then at the end of the party, we'll culminate with a trick-or-treat event around the library building with
nice.
staff that'll have treats for them. So that's what's coming up in October. I don't know that November will have anything specific, but then
Anything quite like that.
yes, but December will have another party, Atmosphere Day, and my brain doesn't have it with it.
That's totally fine.
But we'll talk about that I'm sure I'll be back.
Yes, 100%. Before I let you get out of here, is there anything that people can do for the library? Is there anything that, are there job openings? Is there any volunteer opportunities, anything like that?
Okay, well, good question. I do have one opening. It is very part-time, and it is temporary because it's through a grant. But I'm looking for someone to help with the grant that I have from the American Library Association. And the focus of the grant was to serve the disabled community. And to do this grant, another thing that this community has requested is a makerspace, which is something that libraries have started growing in their communities. And York doesn't have one yet. A makerspace is tools that are attached to a computer, so you draw or create something, and then you send it to a printer that will make it so that you can press it and make T-shirts or mugs with your print on it. Or you can, bigger pieces are those laser cutters that will design or etch or whatever.
Sure.
And so we also have then partnered with our diversion office through the York County Attorney's Office. And so what we want our person to do is be excited about the makerspace tools, but at the same time then mentor the youth that are in the diversion program to use the tools. And then we'll invite the disabled community to come in and work collaboratively with one of the youth as their mentor to create something that they can use or take, or in this season, use as a gift or whatever.
Yeah.
If they're interested, they can go to the City of York's website and fill out a city application, and that will be sent to me. And we would be happy to work with someone who, can work after school hours and weekends, 10, 15 hours a week through the beginning of, or through May, I believe it is, for next year. So that's the opening that I have. And then volunteer-wise, yes, we always can use volunteers to do things like cleaning the toys in the Early Childhood Discovery Center. You can
Very
only imagine
this time of year.
that needs to be done, yes. And then we will have volunteers that can help us with the donated books that we take in. Once they have been culled for the library's use, they go to the Friends of the Library, who then uses them for online book sales. And so that's a way that we make a little money, or we just keep books being used by those who are still interested in having those copies of the books. So that's another task that we can have people help us with. The little libraries that are around town, we need people to come in and get some books and take them out and replenish the little libraries, or keep them fresh. So that's another volunteer opportunity that people can do. And the Friends of the Library themselves could just use some revitalization. We have dwindled to a strong group of 5 or 6, but a group of 10 or 20 would be awesome that we could call on for help. So if anyone is interested.
What goes into that?
The Friends of the Library is an organization that they do fundraisers, so we need someone who likes to plan events. That would be a skill that we could use. And then there's just some things that we don't do well. Adult programming is usually handled by the Friends group, or it has been at this library. And that you work closely with me because, there's grants through the Nebraska Humanities that we can get. That would be, I'd like to have someone that would plan a series of talks that, the community of York would enjoy. I know most every time I've had someone come from Nebraska Humanities, I've had a good-sized group that have come in and enjoyed it. So we just need to be more routine about it, but I need a small group. And they don't have to have meetings. It could be email, here's my, list of authors that I'd like to bring in, or speakers. And, and just, collaborate enough that we get it down to 5 or 6 for the next year. And poof, we'd have a new service at the library.
Gotcha.
And we just need, some people with eyes and a few minutes of time to recommend that. Then we can get those lined up.
Very
So,
nice.
Things like that.
So yeah, those are plenty of opportunities for people to come in and help out with the library wherever possible. So
Yep.
Deb, thanks so much for coming in today, and I know you will be back very soon for more here on Cool Mornings with the Stache.
You bet.